This is CBC Here and Now.
Well, if you were hoping for a white Christmas, it looks like you're not in luck this year. We've got a big push of mild air moving in just in time for Christmas.
The right truck at the right time at the right cost.
A major score for Harbour, Maine, Chapels Cove Lakeview. They paid more than $130,000 for that rig there, and they did it in cash. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Anthony Germain. Now we'll get to that story as well as the weather in just a few minutes, but first, shocking news today about a homicide investigation behind bars. 10 correctional officers have been charged in the homicide of Indigenous inmate Jonathan Henoch, and 3 of those officers are charged with manslaughter. Ryan Cook reports.
They range in age from 28 to 51. 7 are charged with negligence causing death, 3 are charged with manslaughter, and 1 is charged with failing to provide the necessities of life. They stand accused in the killing of Jonathan Henoch. He was a 33-year-old Inuk man from Nain, housed at Her Majesty's Penitentiary while awaiting trial for first-degree murder. Henoch was accused of killing 88-year-old Regula Shuley in 2016. He was transferred to St. John's for his own protection, and it's where he ultimately died. Henoch was in his cell on November 6th last year when 2 guards paid him a visit. A physical altercation ensued, and Henoch was taken to a segregated unit. We're not sure what happened next, but he was later pronounced dead. The news today comes as a welcome relief for Henoch's family, according to lawyer Bob Buckingham.
They want to see that justice is done, and they hope that justice comes to everyone who was involved in his death. And so they are relieved today. They were relieved yesterday that action had been taken, and they're more relieved today to hear that there's 10 people charged, and at least 3 of them have been charged with manslaughter.
Buckingham does have major concerns, however, about how these arrests were made. Police say that the guards were arrested and quickly released with a promise to appear in court at a later date.
I was a bit surprised today to see that people were charged with manslaughter and then allowed to go home. That's just reprehensible, abhorrent, unheard of in our community, and unacceptable in this circumstance.
We don't have the names of any of the guards yet, but all 10 are due to appear in provincial court in St. John's on February the 11th. Ryan Cook, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, if you stepped outside at all today, it's hard to believe that we are 3 sleeps away from Christmas when you've got temperatures like this. 11 degrees was the afternoon high in St. John's. A number of areas seeing those temperatures in the double digits, including Corner Brook, 12 degrees, where you saw some sunshine today as well. And then we still have those temperatures on the about -5 for Lab City this afternoon. Now that area of low pressure is still very much in play. That's why we're seeing all these strong winds. Now the majority of the rain has moved off, but we're going to start to see some snow develop, and we're already seeing that along the west coast. That will continue as we head through the overnight tonight. Here's a look at our current winds, anywhere from 70 to 100 kilometers per hour, but they will ease as we head through the overnight and through the first half of tomorrow. That's going to set the stage for some mild weather as we head towards Christmas Day, but I'll have all those details coming up.
Well, just 1 new case of COVID to report in the province today, and it is a man in his 20s or 30s living in the Central Health region. The man is self-isolating after returning home from work in Alberta. 13 work sites in Alberta have been flagged as COVID hotspots. Rotational workers at those Alberta camps must isolate for 14 days. They're also required to physically distance themselves from others in their households upon their return. Now, a warning for rotational workers working in BC, 2 outbreaks to report, both at coastal GasLink sites. There have been outbreaks at 7 Mile Lodge as well as at Little Rock Lake Lodge. Both sites employ workers from this province. A full list of infected camps can be found on the province's COVID website. Well, Dr. Theresa Tam says the new strain of coronavirus, which prompted new travel restrictions against the UK, has not been detected in Canada. Not yet.
Right now, we've stopped the flights making sure that the enhanced border measures are being applied to anyone who may still be coming in, including the US border. And at the moment, we're looking at what do we do after the 72 hours? And so that it's being worked out, and you will hear about that shortly.
Well, Canada plans to go back and analyze samples taken from recent travelers to look for the new variant. Tam says the current research suggests the already approved and soon to be approved vaccines appear to be effective against it. She's urging Canadians to continue following public health guidelines. Well, a nonprofit group in St. John's that helps people with disabilities find paying jobs is getting global attention. Avalon Employment's pilot project is now on the radar of the United Nations. Here now, Cease Here reports.
A typical day at Mr. Lube, tire and oil changes, maintenance work in the main bay, and underneath, in the pit below, a typical day for 20-year-old Nicholas Greba. Changing fluids, looking for leaks, organizing supplies, keeping the place clean. He started in July through a pilot project that links people with autism and their skill sets with companies.
To be honest, I've never exactly had a great self-esteem, but being able to work, get stuff done, I find just really helps with me, with my confidence kind of thing. And well, it's just overall, I found I've just been feeling a lot more. I feel like I've been happy with myself because I feel like I've been able to help people.
Greba got in the door through the Autism Pilot Employment Program, developed by Avalon Employment in St. John's. They help people with developmental intellectual disabilities find long-term paid employment. Their pilot is this year's winner of the UN's Zero Project Award.
Being presented at the United Nations, having that opportunity to be recognized as a leader in the world. This year, Newfoundland and Labrador sat on the world stage and we measured up.
Wiltshire says the pilot's focus is on skills identification. It'll expand next year to 5 more communities in this province. Win-win, Wiltshire says, because workplace diversity is achieved, clients become more financially independent, and employers get a good worker.
People who have a challenge or a disability are innovative thinkers. They've got to solve 14 problems before they get out the door. So at work, businesses want innovative thinkers. This is what we see. Problems aren't solved until we set a new set of eyes on them that think differently. Folks who have disabilities or are on the spectrum process information and solve problems differently. This is a good thing.
He basically went downstairs for a day and then he enjoyed it down there, so we decided it's okay, fine, he wants to be downstairs. So he's been really good in regards to hands-on. He learns very fast, so it was an excellent choice for us having him here.
With meaningful work experience now on his resume, Greba has advice for those with autism who may be considering this program.
Even if you are nervous, push yourself. God knows I was certainly nervous. More was I nervous, but it's amazing what you can do if you just give yourself that little push.
Avalon Employment will be presented their award in February at a virtual conference at the United Nations in Vienna, Austria. Cease Here, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, great story. And to another uplifting yarn for you now. Christmas came early for the Volunteer Fire Hall in Harbour Main Chapels Cove Lakeview, and it came in the form of a 2010 pumper truck. That's going to provide much needed peace of mind for multiple communities in that area, and perhaps the biggest gift of all, it's all paid for. Here now, Jeremy Eaton explains.
It's no Santa's sleigh, but this shiny red new-to-them pumper truck has been on the town's wish list for a while.
By no means can I say today that this is a Christmas present, though it may feel like that for many.
The town has been searching for a new pumper truck to replace this one, which didn't meet the needs for the fire station. This truck came from New Brunswick. Yesterday, the area's MHA and MP showed up for the big reveal, but neither level of government coughed up the cash to cover the cost. The town paid the $132,000 price tag all by itself.
It is a very big day for us. Our towns really struggle to get by. We have very limited budgets.
A big win for the rural region where water has to be carried on board or come from a nearby pond or lake.
We could actually get 6 people in the cab. We got 3 breathing apparatus on board. We got a 2-tank foam system on board, 1,000 gallons of water on board.
It also carries a generator that can power the jaws of life. The only other one nearby is in Avondale, so if that truck has issues, they now have the option of using the new pumper.
Especially in something as critical as having to pull out extraction equipment, seconds count. And so now we will be able to support Avondale.
Last week, the towns of Harbour Main, Colliers, Conception Harbour, and Avondale signed an MOU to work together as a region, sharing the costs to give the communities access to better services. With this paid off, the push is now on to get funding for a new pumper in Avondale.
Now that we have this regional mindset on, you have to think about what is in the best interest of the region, how can we help the residents provide the level of service that they want.
In a touching tribute, this new truck has been dedicated to the late Kevin Kennedy, the former chief of the fire department here, who died earlier this year.
Kevin's been 34 years of service between the town of Avondale and Harbour Main. There's not one firefighter, I don't think, in this community that never didn't learn something from Kevin Kennedy. He was dedicated.
Everyone in attendance was very happy to see this new fire truck roll out of the fire station today, and it's one of the sorts of things that they hope they never have to use. But in the event that they do, at least they have it here. Jeremy Eaton, CBC News, Harbour Main, Chapels Cove, Lakeview.
Well, after just 2 years, an after-hours clinic in St. John's is closing for good. Eastern Health says it's no longer able to cover the operational costs. More than 50 doctors helped to run this clinic on Major's Path. One doctor told CBC she hates to see it shut down, saying it was a wonderful collaborative effort that gave patients an alternative to the emergency room. Eastern Health says it didn't see enough patients diverted from emergency departments, so it is shifting priority to those who don't have a primary care provider with a clinic in Churchill Square. Now, that clinic is expected to expand in the new year. Newfoundland Power is donating $25,000 to the Community Food Sharing Association. Now, they've been contributing to the annual holiday campaign for more than 2 decades now. Now, typically, staff collect food and cash during the downtown St. John's Santa Parade. When the pandemic canceled that, employees across the province decided to collect food at their offices instead. And yesterday, the company dropped off that food and decided to chip in the extra cash.
Thank you to you and the association for everything that you do for our communities across the province through your 55 food banks. And we look very forward to our long partnership, and hopefully next year we can get back at the Christmas parade again. Thank you, everyone.
Well, the numbers get out, so they weren't just 3 zeros. At $25,000, those big checks, they certainly go a long way. But small donations can also leave a lasting impression. And some young people in St. John's, as well as CBS, have come up with creative ways to help the gathering place this season. Just have a look.
It is really, really, really kind to do something for other people without expecting anything in return. And you can just get it together and do it. You just plan it and bring it together.
I think anyone can do it. Like, if you have a talent and you want to help, just don't doubt yourself. It's the best advice I can give.
Hi, my name is Nancy Sullivan, and I'm with The Gathering Place, the Executive Director, Interim. So many groups of people are reaching out, but when the group of children reach out, it's heartwarming, it really is. So we've had a group of children from a community collect socks.
Hi, my name is Tessa Green.
Hi, my name is Amelia Baisley. Hi, my name is Anna Blackwood. My name is Erin Crane.
And where do you guys live?
We live on Exeter Avenue.
At The Gathering Place, people don't always have like super warm feet or warm bodies, and you want to be warm because it's really cold in the winter.
What did you guys decide to do for those people?
To give them socks. We made lots of posters, and then we all gathered up on a certain date. And then we went door to door, and then we collected all of the socks and money.
We got 257 pairs of socks, and we got around $700.
Well, it was very fun because the looks on people's faces were very happy that we're doing it. It felt really, really good because you're doing something nice for other people.
We've had another young man who has painted some beautiful artwork, and he's donated that to us.
Hi, I'm Devin. I'm 14, and I am the creator of Nifty Arts. Nifty Arts is my business where I do painting and I sell those paintings, and a portion will go to any charity. I recently donated to the Gathering Place. I donated $50 from the portions I made this year. I gave them a piece of my art as well. It was like a wholesome moment, really. I think they were very thankful. They certainly appreciated it, and I was glad to do it.
Well, you know, kindness, when it starts really young, having that empathy, it is so important, and it starts at home and in the community. Any boy and girl, anyone that would like to reach out to us right now and to give from your heart. The gesture, small or large, we accept, and we are truly grateful for whatever we receive and that we are able to pass it forward.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in Newfoundland. The tree at the Confederation Building blown off its stand. I blame our meteorologist Ashley Brawweiler. Her weather is next. Look at this. Welcome back. Well, it's been a strange, stressful year for many of us. So Here and Now wants to shine a light on the bright side of 2020, sharing some of the more positive stories to come out of this pandemic. So here's one from the St. John's International Women's Film Festival, a group that feared it might not survive the year.
My name is Jen Brown. I'm the Executive Director of the St. John's International Women's Film Festival. Every October, we celebrate films made by women from all over the world. Over 5 days, we welcome close to 5,000 guests. We have film screenings and panels and workshops and venues all around St. John's. Well, one of our former business threats really was, how do we as a film festival get people off of their couches, turn off their TV, come downtown and see a movie? Well, why don't we really embrace that? Let's get people to stay home. Let's encourage them to stay on their couch. Let's keep them watching movies, but let's get them to start watching our movies. And the result was amazing. We actually saw a 35% increase in our box office compared to last year, and that number is actually still growing. I will say we did a bit of checks of, is this real? Is this actually what's happening? Our festival passes, for example, like I said, we drastically cut those prices. We would normally sell, maybe 15, 20 passes. We very quickly sold 70. And then we took it another step further and we shared most of our films across all of Canada. I'm really excited and very grateful that we were able to give the opportunity to all the filmmakers that we serve.
Okay, welcome Ashley for our weather. But before we get to you, Ashley, I want to point out what happened at Confederation Building. Did I take a look? The Christmas tree there, blown over by the wind, and not just blown over by the wind, but really blown right off the stand, past the statue. There you see the stand of the candy canes, but no tree. And there's the tree down on the ground, lights and everything, because of the really, really strong winds. It was quite the day.
Yes, definitely a little casualty. I have a little new puppy, which I want to introduce you guys to. She's sleeping right now, so she's going to be
You're going to wake her up?
pretty cute. Look at her, I'm going to wake her up. This is Drizzle. Say hi, everybody.
Drizzle?
She's just going to keep falling asleep. Drizzle, yeah, she's Drizzle the weather dog. How fitting, right, for here. But yeah, she was up all night with this wind as well. Hey, you didn't like it, did you? Not at all. But yeah, look at these windy conditions across. I'm going to let her go back to sleep. Okay, bye. These windy conditions this afternoon for sure. For most of the island, you can see on the west, or on the eastern areas rather, 106 kilometers per hour for Bonavista, 94 for St. John. Stephenville topped out at 100 kilometers per hour as well. And then the Rec House saw about 104 kilometers per hour. Now those winds are going to ease as we head through the overnight tonight. Temperatures have dropped as well. We reached a high near 11 degrees in St. John's, down to 7. And those temperatures are dropping on the west coast and will continue to do so as we head through the overnight. The majority of that rain has moved off, but in behind that, you can see on the west coast, we're starting to see some light snow develop. And we could see a couple of centimeters as we head through the overnight. In the higher elevations, a little bit more, but areas along coastal Labrador, we're going to continue to see that heavy snow and strong winds tonight, with those winter storm warnings still very much in play, but they will eventually, or at least conditions will improve as we head into the early morning hours. Here's a look at the amount of snowfall. Like I was saying, 2 to 5 centimeters for most, but in the higher elevations, 5 to 10. And then along the long range mountains, you could pick up about 10 to 15 centimeters by the time tomorrow morning rolls around. But overnight lows ranging from 2 degrees in the east all the way through to the west, looking at temperatures around -1. And then chilly for Lab City, another night in the -20s, about -22 overnight tonight. And then Nain, you're still looking at windy conditions with gusts upwards of about 100 kilometers per hour. Now tomorrow looks quiet. Some lingering flurries along the west coast, maybe a few peaks of sun as well for central and eastern areas of the island. Beautiful up through Labrador once that snow clears. But then as we head into the evening hours, we can see the chance of a few flurries along the northeast and then potentially for the Avalon. as well, and then some light snow will move back in as we head into Thursday. Here's a look at our forecast for tomorrow. Temperature-wise, beautiful afternoon, 2 degrees, cooler than today, but still beautiful. Northwesterlies 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. More cloud cover as you head west, and then looking at another day in the minus 18 degree range for Lab City. And then temperatures dropping for the southeastern portion of Labrador as well. Now, the good news is, if you think it's good news, if you're hoping for a white Christmas, that is not going to happen. A big change in the pattern again, allowing that warm air to move in as we head towards Friday, but we'll start to see things cool a little bit as we head into Monday up through Labrador. But overall, your temperatures over the next couple of days. Thursday, Christmas Eve, beautiful. Sunshine, temperatures 0 to -2. Some flurries will continue up through Labrador though, -8 for Lab City, for Happy Valley Goose Bay, -6 for Lab City, and -15 in Nain. And then as we get to Christmas Day, look at those temperatures, 6 to 9 degrees, big push of that mild air. Also the potential for some showers, and look at how far north that mild air goes. Happy Valley Goose Bay, 9 degrees, 7 in Lab City, so all that snow will change over to rain, and then eventually we're going to see that continue. As far as these temperatures go, through Saturday and Sunday, mild temperatures on the plus side of the mercury, well above where we should be sitting this time of year. Similar forecast for both central and western Newfoundland, with some rain in play on both Saturday and Sunday. Then we'll start to see a little bit of a dip on Monday. Your temperatures 9 degrees for eastern Labrador both Friday and Saturday, even above 0 on Sunday, but you note those temperatures will start to dip, and that'll happen a little earlier on Sunday for you in the west, with about -12 through the day on Sunday, dipping down into the -20s. So this, I think, is about the only winter view that we're going to get in Twillingate. This is of Twillingate Harbour. Rosalind sent us that one. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And if you have any weather photos, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Welcome back. Well, a reminder that our weekly birthday and anniversary announcements, so they're being bumped up during the holidays. So because we don't have a show on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, we are going to air those greetings on Wednesdays, and that includes and starts tomorrow. So if your loved ones are celebrating this week or next week, make sure to send those photos in as soon as you can. Now, in the meantime, we're going to shift gears, so to speak, to Cane's Quest 2020. The 3,100-kilometer race across Labrador is one of the most high-risk endurance events in the world. And we brought you part one of a special CBC documentary last night, introducing you to some of this year's racers and the communities that supported them. Well, we're going to leave you with the second and final part of that documentary. Good night.
My tunnel is bent.
Oh.
Yeah, losing all the coolant. And he was towing me, and he lost gas. So we had to pump the gas from my tank.
58 is going. Tells how to jump with the work after Skidoo. And in their ass. Good luck, guys, and we'll hopefully see you back here at checkpoint 17 on the way back to the finish.
I don't really think anybody understands how big a challenge it actually is, right? I was probably doing about 100, 110 kilometers an hour when I struck the drift. When I came down, I landed on the crest of a second one, and basically I was just riding my ski tips for a nice while, and I thought for certain I was going to get tossed over the front, and the snowmobile was actually going to run over me, but I got tossed to the side. I thought I had the wind acting to myself. So I stood up by the snowmobile, and as soon as I did, bang, I just fell down. I was done. I broke the ball off your femur where it goes in your pelvis.
That must be in the back of your mind going into this.
Yeah. I still have a couple of nightmares at times over it, but I'm gonna do well. Yeah.
The only thing you have to worry about is literally what's under you and what's right in front of you and what you're doing at that moment. And it's like this huge relief. It's almost like a meditation where you can just eliminate all those concerns, all that stress, all those worries. Everything's just very simple out there. It can be difficult, but it's very simple.
Labrador is the home of the Inuit, and basically we know this area so well, and so we grew up in this land, and at the same time we want to show the public that Inuit Nation is committed. As a Grand Chief, I want them to see that the Grand Chief, is part of this big land. It's part of our land.
The adrenaline starts to pump, and you see all the people watching you, and you hear the helicopters, and it just gets the blood flowing.
Yeah,
but
you know how it feels.
I know how it feels. I know how it feels. Yeah, and you just want to maintain composure and just keep that game face on and not let anybody just let them see how you're feeling. But when the helicopters fly over, you start getting this big rush, and you're like, but you don't want to mess up. This is not the time to mess up.
What's your favorite part of the race? Oh, when it comes in, it gets right intense, huh?
You gonna have enough gas? Bye, Zita.
We're a small number of people, Labrador, about 30,000, and we're very proud of our little spot in the world, and we love to showcase it, and we love hosting people. If you're ever in one of these communities on the coast, you're never stuck.
We're here at the Port Hope Simpson checkpoint, and Team 98 has arrived, but unfortunately their support crew hasn't made it yet, so Team 78 has been nice enough to give them some gas.
How was the race so far?
Oh, good. Rough on the south coast though. Pretty rough. We took our time this morning trying to hold our slides together, but anyway, it's pretty good down this way. So.
Did you guys have any trouble so far along the way?
No trouble so far.
Lots of catching up.
Yes, perfect.
The radio wire.
I'm setting the insert down right here, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Check in first, Scott. I'm from here.
Labrador is known for hospitality, and that's definitely our high point. And showing up, at 3 o'clock in the morning when you figure the whole community is dead, when you pull into a checkpoint, there's loud screams, there's people outside, clapping and cheering, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, whoa, where'd you guys come from? Yeah, so it's and that gives you the momentum to keep going then, without a doubt.
We pull into several checkpoints and people say, anything you need? Yeah, we need somewhere to sleep. Okay, now come on. We're going to put you up over here. Complete stranger's house. Here's your shower. What do you want for breakfast? What? What? Yeah. We're going to cook you breakfast. You can start tomorrow morning now. You'll have everything that you want there. And you can't ask for no better than that. I mean, people are just absolutely, positively what? Hospitable.
The best.
He got mad at me. I seen a moose. I chased the moose for 10 kilometers. He said, where are you going? I said, I seen a moose.
You're going on your back.
It's really hard to not let that racer's vibe take over, and so you really have to be cognizant of the fact that you're going 2,000 miles. You're not going to win the race in the first 50 feet. So it's about being aware of the fact that you're starting 2,000 miles, and you need to be focused on the fact that you're not racing right off the start line. You're riding, you're getting into the groove.
The most important thing about this race is safety. We got to keep an eye on ourselves, and we got to look out for things that will be dangerous, like an open water or open river. We got to be careful on those things, and we got to look out for other racers. If they need help, we'll help them. That's basically what the race is all about: is looking out for your fellow racers and looking out for your partner as well.
Down on the ski, Rebecca?
Yeah. I'm probably gonna have the same problem.
Make a snowshoe.
Sure. Boys, thanks for the help. Yes, appreciate it.
We would hope the same, so.
Second stop. We won't see you stop.
Hey, that's how you make friends, right? Correne and I will always stop. Unless you're a total dick.
Okay. Yeah. Ready? 1, 2.
Okay, gotta go.
Hey, brother, hold on the brake. Hang on a second.
Anything broke? Love you guys too.
cheering for?
21.
21.
21.
21. Team 21, first through. So I'm here with Team 55. How are you feeling this morning coming into Currate?
A little bit tired. We've been riding all night again, but excited to be here. It's beautiful morning and nice place, and we had a really exciting night riding on the coast, and we saw some polar bear footprints, and we were quite nervous.
So driving like this, there's somebody coming, the bear's coming, but yeah, happy.
This is where the race starts from here, so in the South Coast, because it's everything is a challenge now. Machines, the fatigue, and everything. And the last couple of days I've been resting and trying to take care of my machine. So this is a real race will begin here.
So you finished this, came this far.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. It's good that you made it this far. Yes, it's still a great accomplishment. Yeah.
We decided to quit because the support at North, we have a trailer stuck at Goose Bay too, so
Are you hungry?
I will find.
What's the hardest part about the race?
I'd say the long time behind the bars. Like we've driven as long as 30 hours straight on a snowmobile without sleep. Yeah, so you're sleep deprived. You've had episodes where you're kind of hallucinating, that kind of stuff. So we've both experienced that.
I was so thirsty coming into Goose Bay, probably 15 or 20 kilometers out, and I was hallucinating. I was seeing oranges, all those oranges, and I could see them on the snow, and I know I was hallucinating. that's how this race can get you, is hallucinations, and you can hear things.
Well, I think mental is the biggest part of it. We've seen people lose their minds. Just get out in the middle of the reservoir and just go crazy. Like they can't understand where they're to or why they're doing it. Or
some racers see also Smurf on the road. Smurf.
Like the little character?
Yeah, little characters.
Unfortunately, Brian Rich was in an accident this morning on the sea ice about 10 kilometers outside of Hopedale. He was taken to hospital by helicopter. Brian is awake and he's talking.
When you talk to the racers, it's against nature, against your opponents, against the weather, and against the terrain. So to me, it's one of the biggest challenges and adventures for any snowmobiler out there.
This is Wanda Lee Mesher here in Cartwright at the community gym, where our people have gathered to show their support for Team 21, Mighty Haulers, as they're getting close to the finish line. The crowd is pretty pumped. I have Sharon Howell here. How are you feeling, like being here waiting for Team 21?
I can't even describe it. It's amazing. Like the adrenaline is just going. It's so crazy. It's unreal.
So obviously, I guess you're rooting for 21.
Absolutely. 21 all the way. Woohoo!
I'll always say that Kane's Quest it's like an addiction with no cure. That's what keeps drawing us back.
What we started out that we never thought was going to become anything is now is worldwide, and it's in an international race. It's fantastic. It's unbelievable.
I'm here supporting Team 21.
And how are you feeling? What's the vibe here?
Oh, the water coming down!
Moment of a lifetime for Team 21, the Mighty Haulers. This is the first time they've ever raced in Kane's Quest, an amazing feat. Daryl Burdett is from Cartwright. He passed through his hometown Monday and was greeted by a very excited group of fans. His partner Roderick Pye is from Lodge Bay. Both are fishermen.
Did you think you were going to be coming in first?
No, not a clue. No, never ever expected that.
What's going through your head right now?
Job to believe us. Job to believe it. Holy God, I would never thought this when we started out.
Now, more than half the racers have scratched, which just speaks to how serious a race like this really is. Reporting for Here and Now, I'm Meg Roberts.